What's going on, guys? Blame Truth here, the Codfather himself, bringing you another video, and I'm going to start this off with some actual good news. If you watched my previous video, I found out that it maybe wasn't Activision behind the community guideline strike. Apparently, it's just YouTube, something going on with YouTube, and they're not being upfront about it and communicating, so that's great. There's that. But also, my dog is not going to have to get surgery. It's going to be like a outpatient procedure, a simple lance off for his mass deal. So, two good things, two good news, whatever the plural that is, two good pieces of news to start off with. So not a completely negative video, but either way, it's still kind of negative because I got to pay for kind of a surgery. I got to pay, the vet bill. And I still don't know why I got the community guidelines strike, because I didn't do anything different in that video than I've done in any other video I've ever uploaded. So thank you, YouTube, for not communicating as always. I love things that don't communicate. It's literally the basis of every, conflict. From a simple date, like a first date not going well, to Call of Duty being a pile of shit, to, I don't know, war and famine and stuff like that. Just communicate. Literally just communicate properly, like an adult. Today, we did get some communication, though, about something coming. And before I even get into that, I want to say that I downloaded this game again, right? Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2 in preparation for shipment. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I downloaded it. And then it took forever, and I have a fiber line. It took forever because it's like 60, 100 gigs, something like that. I didn't even pay attention. I just hit download and I walk away. I just realized, since I'm on Xbox, that me downloading this was pointless, because I will have to delete the game and download it again, because that's how updates work on Xbox. They have not put out the preload for this yet, so I'm literally going to have to delete the game and download it again just to get this map that I've been playing on since 2007. This map's coming out, and I will be 100% upfront with you people. I will probably play one match on it and then never play it again. I skipped Modern Warfare 2019 because I didn't like it. I didn't like it, so I didn't play it. Yet this game is so similar to that game, I can only imagine how bored people are already. Are you bored? Comment section. If you're bored, give me a board. Type out bored in all caps, no caps, spell it out with spaces. Type it out in the comment section if you're bored already. Because I have not played MW 2019. And this game already, less than a month and a half later, has bored me to tears. I am bored. I'm not saying it for effect. I'm not saying it to be funny. Yes, it is funny when I say it like a caveman. I'm hearkening back to that Aqua Teen episode with Oog and the Oogie McTash. If you know, you know. I'm bored. 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 There's nothing to do. Why are we releasing maps that I saw in 2007 and claiming it's new content in Modern Warfare 2019, 3 years ago? The best maps were Shoe House and Shipment. Fast forward 3 years, 3,000 devs. The most advanced Call of Duty of all time, all this self-flagellation, all this hype that leads back to a worse version of the same game that was released in 2019. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Tell me. This is the same game that we got in 2019, but worse. They've remixed some stuff around, left some features out, made some really dumb design decisions like the ultimate time release perk system, and called it a day. There is nothing new in this game. Nothing new. If I am already this bored, having skipped MW 2019, when I say I didn't play it, I mean I just skipped it. I played enough to know I didn't like it, right? If I'm bored already, how bored are the people that have been playing MW 2019 for the past 3 years? If you like that game, why the hell would you even bother with this? You have seen all this before. In Vanguard! I played Vanguard! They brought Shipment back in that! They literally brought it back a year ago. Guys, It's pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic. There is no reason. There's absolutely no reason they cannot reskin some maps and call it a day and port them in. No reason. You have so many. You have unlimited resources. You made $1 billion last year from freaking morons buying skins. Like, what? Why can't you just give us some old maps? Give us some old maps. Are you saving it for that premium DLC? Okay, fine. Bring back all the MW2 maps for the premium DLC. Bring back that whole roster of maps from the original MW2. Fine, you can do that. However, you can't tell me you don't have other good maps to pull stuff from. You know, you recycled most of MW 2019's good maps, like Crash and all that stuff. Vacant? Was Vacant in there? Yes, it was. It had doors. Doors everywhere! The point of all this is, how in the hell are we lacking this much content and this many features? Check this out. This is from Twitter, all right? This is a real tweet, December 13th. Although previously announced, Warzone 2.0 combat records will not be launching with Season 1 Reloaded due to the accuracy of the data population. What does that mean? I don't know. However, we continue to work on this feature and implementation of leaderboards and will provide an update when available. You guys still aren't getting leaderboards in Warzone. Something as simple as stat tracking, they can't get right. Like, legitimately think about this right now. Call of Duty 4, released 15 years ago, had a little over 100 devs, I think, working on that. That game had stat tracking. That game had glitches that I could count on one hand. Like, bugs and glitches I can count on one hand. That game had a working UI. That game was fun. That game had new features with the perk system, kill streaks. Like, that game was innovative. The fact that it took them 3 years to make a worse version of the same exact game, Modern Warfare 2019, they literally just took everything in MW 2019 instead of building on what worked and getting rid of what didn't. You know what they did? They decided just to mix some shit around slightly so it kind of looks different. You know, it's like when you copy your friend's homework, but you're not as smart as your friend. So you copy it and change some stuff around, but it's like, and it's just a worse version of your friend's homework. You just copied it. You don't really know what you're doing. That's exactly what happened here. I'm convinced. I don't know. I don't know if the 3,000 devs thing is just a way to get a tax write-off or something. Like, I think it is. Somebody needs to investigate that. Were there actually 3,000 people? Let me see all 3,000 people's names right now. I want to see their names. I also want somebody to point the finger at and say, hey, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. The fact that 15 years ago, not just 15 years ago, but any old Call of Duty, you could get stat tracking, and we don't have it now with as many resources and as much money as they have made, is just pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. The most advanced Call of Duty of all time, guys. We can't get stat tracking right. We can't get a combat record. Even in the paid game here, not the free Warzone combat record, but in the paid game, we didn't have it at launch. We didn't know if we were getting it. We had no communication. This entire franchise, I mean, I shouldn't hope this because my channel's based on Call of Duty, but I truly hope all this shit just goes belly up. I hope the player base just leaves in droves. I hope this game dies off if it's not already dead. I mean, I've been trying to cover it. They don't show the player numbers anymore. They refuse to. You can see them somewhat on Steam, and you can see them somewhat, I think it's just Steam, actually. Yeah, I don't think there's any other platform where you could see them on, but Steam's a combination, correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's a combination of Warzone, multiplayer, campaign, Spec Ops, and DMZ, right? So those player numbers are a little not definitive, we'll say, because it's like every mode in the game. I've heard from people that campaign's good, so maybe people are going back and playing that. DMZ is okay. I think I'm bored playing it. I'm bored. Sorry, I need to stop. But I'm bored playing it. I'm going to get another gameplay up here. Speaking of bored playing it. It's just pathetic the state the game is in. It's truly, truly pathetic. Vanguard, I could at least make videos on because it's so broken and they kept breaking more. Like, they did have updates. I will say that. They had a lot of updates trying, but they failed. This game, they're not even trying. The game is just broken. It's released broken. It's released with issues. It's released with Some of the worst hit detection, damage registration, skill-based or not, whatever you want to call it. The whole game is just chalk. There's no consistency whatsoever. There's no new content. It's just a worse MW 2019. And like, we were lied to. We were lied to. I saw this tweet pop up from Charlie Antel back in November before Warzone 2 came out. Charlie Antel had this to say, and this is a direct quote. "We fucked up. We broke it. We're not happy with it. No excuses. Call of Duty leadership acknowledged current state of Warzone as a mess and vowed to fix the issues, starting with updates in Season 2. That was a lie. There's no vowing here, no promises. Like, we were promised so much with this game before it came out. Are you guys just content to be lied to? Like, if you actually support this game, if you like MW Roman numeral 2 or Warzone 2 or whatever, are you cool with just playing unfinished games where you're promised the world and it's never delivered upon? Are you okay with that? Legitimately, I think this is like an experiment to see how little they can actually do and still make money. I talked about this kind of in an old video, but I think that the reason AAA gaming in general has gotten so bad is because companies have figured out a way. They figured out a way to get you addicted to a shitty game. You know, I think that's it. I think that people in general, especially with the pandemic and lockdowns and whatnot, we're kind of still coming out of that, right? But I think people's lives are just worse overall. We're not going outside as much. Like, I mean, I hate to use real life statistics here, but we get kind of like more overweight every year in America. Depression and stuff like that, and like mental health is on the decline. I hate to say that because, I mean, I experienced that firsthand, you know, and the lockdowns didn't help. Like, the world's kind of been a shit show in general the past couple years, and things are gradually on the decline. I think game companies are just like, hey, people's lives suck. They got nothing to do. They're depressed. They want something to put their time into. Let's release bad games. They're going to play them anyway. I think there's legit some logic behind that, and I would love to have some kind of scientific tests done on that metric, or maybe I'll do it myself. I don't know, but I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, why do people defend these awful games? These games, it's really not even subjective. It's objective. This game is objectively worse because we have objectively less content. There's objectively less polish than old Call of Duties. I'm not making it up. I'm not just saying it to say it. You know, I'm not tooting my own horn here just to hear myself toot. It's literally, like, it's bad. It's not complete. And people still defend it, or they'll say give them time or whatever. I've given them time. I've given them a month and a half, and like, I have 17 more days left in this month to make content, right? I don't even know what I'm gonna make it on. I don't, because they don't even update the game for me to make fun of it when they break stuff. They don't. We have no updates. They release the season 1 update and then it's crickets. The fact that we have more devs than ever, we have less communication than ever, less changes than ever, it's pathetic. With Cold War, there was like a sliver of hope with Cold War because Cold War released in a really poor state with very little content. But Treyarch, as much as I hated on Cold War, Treyarch at the very least tried. You know what I mean? Like that. I stuck with that game all year. If you notice, I stuck with it all year. I played it all year long. I kept bringing you content on it because they kept trying for what it was worth. They eventually got the game into a state where I would say out of the last 4 Call of Duties, it is the best. I think it's the best because it was the most complete. It was the most true to the Call of Duty roots. It had probably the best. It definitely had the best maps. I think it was the most stable. I mean, it was boring, as I call it, but that's just, I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, it's not as good as the old Call of Duties, but like Treyarch tried. You know, I'll give them that. The game got better as the year progressed, and they tried. Should it have been released in that state in the first place? No. Should Vanguard have been released at all? No. We should have got Cold War Year 2, truthfully. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, though, is that there's no, like, I don't see any trying here. I just don't. With Warzone 2 or MW Roman numeral 2, like the paid experience, which I paid $10 more for, by the way, and you did too. I don't see them trying at all. Vanguard, I think they tried, but were incompetent. They couldn't do it. Like, they did not have the talent to fix it. I think this game is a mixture of the two. I think it's a thing where they are not only not trying, but they can't do it. They don't have the talent to do it. And I don't care if that's a mean thing to say. You could say, wow, Blame Truth is mean. He's mean to these games and these devs. I'm sorry, but it's very, very mean. I would argue that it's much meaner to release a Call of Duty, charge $10 more than what you originally did, and give us less content than ever before. I think it's very mean to release a game this bad in this state with this little content to the paying public, lying every step of the way and saying that it's the most advanced Call of Duty of all time. You're going to have this and that, and then taking it away. I think it's mean to essentially rob people with false advertisement. We were promised hardcore mode. We still don't have it in the game, by the way. Hardcore players have that god-awful tier 1 mode, which is buggy, glitchy, and not hardcore. It's like realism or something. So we don't have hardcore. We didn't have it at launch either. We were promised it being tier 1, and they lied. We were promised the museum map at launch, and they lied. We barely got some of the maps they got copyright struck for, like Crown Raceway and whatnot. We were promised combat records at launch. They lied. We were promised Warzone 2 combat records now. They lied. That we were promised they would do better going forward after that last disastrous Warzone update. They lied. I remember last year when Vanguard was the new game and they integrated it with Warzone and had that big update, they broke every single Call of Duty. There wasn't one Call of Duty game from Cold War to MW 2019 to Vanguard that wasn't broken from that mess of an update. I'm so tired of it. I'm so sick of it. And I have to play this game for 17 more days until I could take a little bit of time off in January. It's just tradition, and I can't do it. Like, this game's already done. The biggest disappointment of all time, guys. The biggest disappointment of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell. Let me know your thoughts below. I want to suplex... you know, I'm not going to say this anymore because the YouTube bots are out. So I'm going to say I want to suplex myself through a good game. Peace out.
I appreciate it, Nick. I'm sorry if I'm a little fucking snippy. I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.